you go back to the very beginning of smartphone theater. So what was your
Well, my thought process is you must be crazy as hell.
Oh, I have to be one star. Okay, all right, I'll start.
Hello, Johnny.
Hello, Roger.
7 days a week, I get up at 6:30 and go write every single day. And sometimes, even if I don't have anything to write, I'll sit there and write something else.
Go ahead, darling. No one on this earth deserves a good old-fashioned cry more than my sweet big sister.
I wet your new dress.
No, it don't matter. I bought one of them half-off designer places. If I ever paid full price for anything, Leonard had one of them brain annuals.
But I'll tell you a story about smartphone. The play with Robert Hayes and Michael Kavanagh.
There we go. You take this back and you give it to they who sent you. I hear it's good for the movement.
Thanks, Johnny.
Got a call from a lyric writer and brilliant pianist back east. And now we're working on a musical together. I'm writing the book. You keep advancing it, man. I mean, you're a bit of a savior for us playwrights.
You had other gifts.
Yeah, I just wasn't allowed to unwrap them.
There were moments. There were moments of happy.
You evidently have not read my diary. I call it my happy life book.
I have a high respect for writers and a high respect for directors who get it.
But you've got something most of us would kill to have. You love what you do. You love to bake. That puts you way ahead.
where have you found your inspiration during a time of lockdown?
You know what? It's a continuation of what I've always done. And it's a muscle. It's like you see these big beefy guys in the gym and they go there every day and sometimes twice a day to maintain.
Right.
Get stronger. That's what it is for me, is that if I don't write one day, it feels weird.
Can you hear that?
Hear what, Johnny?
The ocean.
The ocean?
Yeah, it's the ocean. And it's filling up Roger's bathtub.
Jeez.
Exactly. Jeez.
I'm still doing what I've done for years, and that's get up every morning and write. And then after that, I may have something to eat, and then I play guitar. Eugene Butler, and as a playwright, I write lots of plays.
Hello, everybody. Will, I'm turning off your camera. So there we go. Hi, folks. How you guys doing? Yes, it's our birthday month, so we are going to have little documentary pieces at the beginning of each show for the next 3 or 4 weeks throughout the month of March. And then after the show, we are actually going to invite some of our creatives who are in the audience today and bring them on and learn all about what's going on. And that's all part of our talk back. So please stick around. There's a lot going on. It's amazing. We've been around for 1 year, and it's amazing that everybody's been around for 1 year. And thank you for being around for 1 year. It's incredible. This all started on March 27th. So with a play by Gina Acosta. So on March 26th, we are going to do another play by Gina Acosta. We're going to go full circle. So that is what's happening. So again, thank you very much to all of our supporters. If you haven't, or if you want to continue to support us, please go to the website, smartphonetheater.com and hit the donate now or support. There's sort of links all over the place. So please do that. And as far as schedule is concerned, for the rest of March, we have next week, we have a play by Joe Keys, who's another one of our very frequent contributors, called Country Life. Then we have a play by Wendy Graff. And then after that, we have Gina Acosta, her play called The Huntsville Gun Show. And then when we start off April, we're going to do another poetry night. So, which is Feeling Foolish. And it's actually on April 2nd, not on April Fool's Day. So, but that's what's happening. All right, but tonight we have VA Blues, and it's by Will Manus, and it's directed by Stu Berg, and it's with Barika, Phillips, Bell, and Leslie A. Jones. Again, we're going to have a talk back immediately following, so don't go far. And then we're also going to talk about just being creative during this time of staying at home. So lots of conversation, lots going on tonight. Thank you for joining us, and stick around. We've got a lot going on. So, but right now, I bring you VA Blues.
I love you too. Excuse me. Excuse me.
What?
Mind if I talk to you?
You're already doing that, aren't you?
I mean, personally.
So?
I'm looking for someone.
Who?
His name is Harvey Smith.
What you want him for?
It's personal.
I'm Harvey Smith.
Really?
Name's on the door, isn't it?
But you don't look like the Harvey Smith I remember.
Am I supposed to apologize for that?
No, of course not. Sorry about that. He was my father, you see, and the last time I saw him, I was a little girl.
I'm Harvey Smith, but I'm not your father. I'm nobody's father.
But the name.
Lots of Harveys out there, lady. Lots of Smiths, too.
Well, I don't just mean your name. I mean, what's your background?
I already told you.
Yeah, no, somebody who was visiting this hospital last week saw your name on the door, and she thought that it might be you.
I'm not the man you think I am.
Well, who are you, then?
I already told you who I was.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to barge on you. I'm sorry, sir.
You know what, Tim? You really starting to get on my nerves.
Look, I don't want anything from you if that's what you think.
Why would I worry about something like that? Hell, I don't have anything to give.
So how long have you been in this hospital?
Just about as long as my memory is.
Oh, come on. Surely you must know.
You ever heard of Desert Storm?
Desert Storm.
Yeah, the war in Iraq.
Oh, right. That was what, 20, 30 years ago?
Well, there you go. That's your answer.
My father fought in that war.
Did he now?
He was injured in it too.
Sorry to hear it.
He was flown to a hospital in Germany, and that was the last time we heard of him.
How come?
I'm not sure why. I had something to do with the computer systems breaking down, or maybe being hacked. All his records were all messed up.
Those damn computers.
We kept waiting to hear from him, let us know where he was, but
But what?
it was like he vanished off the face of the earth.
The invisible man. How lucky can you be?
Lucky?
That's right, lucky. No responsibilities, no ties, no one to worry about but yourself.
That's your story then, isn't it?
Is that what you think?
In the system, and you were okay with it?
Is that what you think?
It's what I feel. The feeling hit me when I stepped in the door and I saw you. Somehow I knew, I felt that you were my father.
What if you're right? What then? What would that change about our lives?
What do you mean? It would change everything. I'd have a father, you'd have a daughter.
So what? I'll still be stuck in this damn hospital.
Forever.
And a day.
Oh, that can't be.
The hell you say? You see that bed over there? Up until 2 weeks ago, it was occupied by a man who got injured in World War II. World War II. Do you know how long ago that was? Huh? And what about that one over there? See, Jojo, that was his name. Stepped on a landmine in Vietnam. Double amputee with complications. Hell, he didn't get out of that bed until the angel of death tapped him on the shoulder.
How awful. How horrible. But they weren't unknown soldiers, were they? I mean, they could still receive visitors, hug a child, feel a woman's kiss. But you've chosen to stay hidden, invisible, haven't you? Haven't you? You answer me, damn it.
You know what? You should go. You should just leave.
No.
Yeah, I'll call security. Security!
They won't kick me out. I'm your daughter.
Yeah. I guess you are.
Why didn't you call? Or write?
I have my reasons.
Just what were they?
It's my business.
Your business? What about my business? My mama's business? Don't you think we had a right to know where you were?
Listen, you were better off not knowing.
How dare you say a thing like that?
Look, Barbara. That is your name, right?
Dad, you know it is.
All right then, Barbara. My daughter, Barbara.
What?
I did think of you. I did think of your mother. But I
But what, Dad?
hell, do you see the condition I'm in?
Of course.
Well, it's nothing compared to the way I looked when I got injured in Iraq.
How'd it happen?
You don't want to know.
How did it happen, damn it?
All right. Blame it on Willie Pete.
I don't understand.
Willie Pete is short for white phosphorus. It's a bomb the devil himself probably created. And when it goes off, not only does it break every bone in your body, but it burns the flesh right from you.
Oh, Lord, how did the Iraqis get such a terrible weapon?
We sold it to them back when they were fighting the war in Iran.
So you were hit by a bomb that your own country made?
And a damn war that wasn't worth fighting. A war that was fought over nothing.
Nothing at all.
You know what? Hell, I can never figure out why we even there. The Iraqis never invaded us or attacked us.
So why did you join up?
I didn't have a choice. I was in the National Guard, got called up
And got injured to boot.
so badly that it took the Army all these years to outfit me with some brand new parts.
You lost me again.
You see this? It ain't my face. It belongs to the doctors who built it for me right in this very hospital.
What happened to your old face?
It went up in smoke. Burned to a beautiful black crisp. So listen, now don't you understand why I never called? I mean, what man would want his daughter to see him looking like that?
What do you mean? I would have tried to be brave.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You would have took one look at me and you would have ran out this room. Your mother too, screaming and yelling. Listen, you would have had nightmares for the rest of your life.
How can you be so sure?
Because I looked at myself, damn it, and I screamed and I cried. Still crying.
All right. Maybe you're right. Maybe I would have been horrified. But things have changed. You've got a new face.
A fake face. A clown's face.
It's not a clown's face. It's a good face.
Look, I appreciate your visit. I really do. And it's good to know that you're all grown up and you're doing well and you went out of your way to find me. But you got to try to understand that it's too late for me to be a father. Too damn late.
Stop talking like that.
I'm only talking the truth to you.
No, you're only being mean and spiteful.
You know what? I shouldn't have talked to you. I should have turned you away.
I would have come back. I wouldn't have stayed away.
Why? Why? What difference does it make at your age whether you have a father or not?
Stop talking like a fool.
You know what? I don't need this. Oh, I sure as hell don't need this. You know, I was feeling real good today. You know, kind of calm, relaxed, ready to try a new groove. But then you walked through that door and you threw me the hell off.
I don't understand.
You see this horn? You remember it? I used to play it to you when you were a child. You used to sit and listen to me with the look of wonder on your little face.
I remember. Yes, I do. I remember the sounds you used to make when you were practicing.
This thing was my life. All I ever wanted to do was play it. Make a new sound upon the earth. Play skillfully with a joyful noise like the Bible said.
And you did. You made a lot of joyful noises. I remember that. And I remember Mama sometimes joining in and singing along with you. What was that song? Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high.
Your mom had a good voice. Beautiful voice. We sounded good together, didn't we?
Yes. And she was so proud of the way you played. Said you were a natural.
I guess I was. I never took a lesson on the horn. Taught myself. Played in bands at the age of 13. I had a career all mapped out for myself until Iraq changed my life. Your mama, she can verify all that. How is she, by the way? I asked you a question.
Well, when you disappeared, or maybe thought dead, she got a divorce, married another man, and died of cancer not long after that.
I see. Your soul rest in peace.
Now do you understand why I kept looking for you all those years? Without you, I'm an orphan in this world.
God is the father of the fatherless. Remember that.
What's the matter? You afraid to play now?
Not afraid. Just can't do it anymore.
Why?
My lips burn up in that fire. It blew up and burst like boiled fat.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, look, I'm sorry. There I go again, telling you one horror story after another.
It's okay. I'm okay.
No, this has got to stop, man. It's not okay. You know, you should just go. Take yourself home and forget about me.
No, I don't want to go home. I don't want to forget about you.
Go, damn it. Go. Just leave this house of the living dead.
Daddy! Please. I don't want to leave you. I want to stay with you.
It's too late for that, all right? Do you understand? It's just too damn late.
No!
Get out! Get out! Go! Just leave me alone, damn it! Go! Damn! Damn!
Hush, little baby, don't you cry.
Thank you, everybody. Can I, let me introduce everybody. So Leslie A. Jones, here's Leslie. And Barika Phillips Bell. Hello, Barika. And directed by Stu Berg. Come on in, Stu. And hello, Stu. And then written by Will Manus. I'm not sure, Will, you've logged in twice, so I'm not sure which one you're on. So let's hopefully we get the right one. So Will, come on in. Just hit your video button. Hit your start video. Bottom left-hand corner of your window. I know you're going to be here in a second.
There he is.
There we go. All right, excellent. All right, Will, and you want to unmute yourself as well. Bottom left hand. We already have one hand up. Dave, I'm going to get to you in 1 second. So I just, first of all, guys, wonderful job. Really beautiful job. I know you have a little bit of a history with this play. Does anybody want to comment on sort of the genesis on on how everybody came together and how this play came together?
Well, I should explain. Leslie has been in several previous plays of mine, and he's not only a wonderful actor and person to deal with, but he's obviously a professional musician. So I actually wrote this piece for him. And as for Barika, she also was in a previous play of mine, a musical called Blues for Central Avenue. And I've always loved her as an actress and a person. And I thought of her for the girl in this play. So that's how it all came together that way.
Got it. Yeah, that's over a period of how much time?
Well, I think I wrote the first draft of this play maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, got it. Got it. So it's all very recent.
Yeah, it was read at the Actors Studio, where I'm a member at the Playwrights Directors Unit. And, had to find a place to get it up, and Smartphone Theater was the place, thank God, for Smartphone Theater.
Yay!
For Stu and of course for Todd, putting the whole thing together.
Good. Barika, are you a musical theater person?
I do love musical theater, yes.
Do you come from the musical theater, or are you?
I actually do not. I come from traditional musical theater. So, like, the first musical that I ever did was Will's play.
Oh wow, that's amazing, because you have a beautiful voice, and I
Beautiful. Really.
Yes.
Yeah, he was the first musical that I ever did. So I was like, you know what? I like doing that.
Great. And Leslie, are you a musical theater person or a musician and theater?
Not at all. Not at all. I actually come from a musical background, and then it kind of merged off into theater when I got here from Philadelphia. I just kind of started digging the theater scene and stuff, and I've been in a few productions, the old Mojo Ensemble, and that's where I got my beginnings from.
You're Philly. I'm Baltimore.
Right on, East Coast.
There we go. Yeah, absolutely.
Leslie has been modest about it. He's had his own several bands that he leads and sings, and of course plays various instruments, not just the sax.
I could tell. I mean, when we were in rehearsal and you were just fiddling around, I'm like, you're the real deal. Definitely the real deal. So, Dave Field, go ahead.
Typical Will Manus. He picks a softball subject. I think you both did well. I was surprised to see Misty Copeland in the cast, though, and then I realized, it wasn't Misty Copeland.
Misty Copeland.
Anyway, Leslie and Mr. You both portrayed the pain very well. It really gets through, even in a TV screen. I could feel the pain, and I think, Will, you did a great job as usual. You never back off of anything, and that's what makes it worthwhile. And you were ably assisted, I think, by the director.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I'm grateful to Stu for a lot of hard work he put in on it, and thanks for your comments, Dave.
Now, how long did it take? How long was the rehearsal?
We only had 2, right?
They were extended. They weren't just 15 minutes. They were, a couple of hours each, and it's certainly adequate for a short piece, I think.
Okay.
Also,
that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Leslie and Barika had read it at the studio before, so they weren't completely new to the project.
Exactly.
Years ago. But
and they were very brave too, if I could step in, and then they decided they were going to be off book. And even with the fact that they were familiar with it, it was long ago, and they really got into it, because I don't think being on script and for a piece that gets this emotional would have been quite as effective as it was. So I was very pleased for them doing it.
Yeah, I was really impressed by the emotional life in such a short piece, on how you were able to get from 0 to 60 so quickly. What is, do you guys have an attachment to the subject matter at all? I mean, the fact that this is a veterans piece, that there's
I mean, I have, my father is a veteran. He was in the Air Force. And so for me, it is just more so about putting myself in the world of finding my father, this man whom I loved and had fond memories of after so long, no longer having a mother, but just like, makerless until I find my father. And working with Leslie, because we have worked and we have a great working relationship, it's just easy to transport myself into that.
Great.
As far as myself, I am a veteran, and I'm very familiar with Willie Pete. As a matter of fact, I used to be a mortar gunner, and we used to shoot them off the back of deuce and a halves and whatnot, and APCs. And yeah, those things, they do burn. They burn you badly, and they light up the sky. That's what they're for. They're for illumination. They light up the sky and stuff. So I mean, just the knowing the military life period, and being out there in the field and going through all the stuff that we've gone through, exercises and stuff like that from the unit that I was in, kind of sort of lend itself to this as well. So.
But there's more. I'm going to follow that up. Gina Acosta, you're up.
Hello, all. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, Will, thank you so much for this piece. The whole VA thing. I myself am not a veteran, but my husband's been working with vets in the arts in a program called Deploy the Arts for the last number of months. And so this really, being in COVID, being in a 2-bedroom apartment, and him instructing and teaching young vets in theater with so much of this material, boy, it fills an apartment quick, and it's here. And so this piece was really important to hear. And so thank you so much for what you wrote. Stu, thank you so much for what you guided and brought. And Leslie and Barika, holy cow. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta say, Todd has been in my apartment, and at one point the doorbell rang and I had to go to the other end of the apartment. But Barika, when you started singing, I hauled ass back to my computer, nearly just like, it was like, holy cow. This was such a raw piece. It's such a beautiful piece. And thank you. And thank you for our service men and women. And thank you, Will, for bringing it to us today.
And listen, could you do me a favor?
Absolutely.
When this is you, since you know Will, have Will give you my information. I would love to work with your husband.
Leslie, you got it. Absolutely, absolutely. I will make sure that all happens. Todd Felderstein is our conduit.
Gotcha.
So we will do this. So thank you all so much, and Will, again, congratulations. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Gina. I'm just trying, we had a little bit of static, so I was just trying to figure out where that was coming from.
I think it's Stu.
Well, I turned off Stu for a second, and now it has gone away. So, all right, whatever it was, I'm glad it's back.
I'm glad it's gone too.
Yes.
Quit blaming me, Leslie.
It was you the last time.
I did everything.
In a couple of minutes, because this is our birthday month, we've had 40, this is our 44th Friday, actually, that we've put up pieces. So I've asked a couple people, we've got people out in the house that I'm going to bring over, and we're going to talk to them all about what this last year has been about, and creativity and so forth. I'm really, Leslie, you've opened up a can of worms. I'm very curious about, were you in combat?
I was not.
You were not?
I was a little bit too young for combat. Yeah, I didn't see Vietnam. I came in right after the war was over. Vietnam War was over.
Got it. Oh, wow. Got it. But huh, the in doing stories, that in doing veteran stories or doing military stories, is that something you seek out? Is that a painful subject for you, or no, not at all?
No, it's not. I don't seek it out. I mean, this just happened to come, via Will, and I was very interested in doing it. But I'm not opposed to doing it, and no, it's not a painful subject, because honestly, some of the best times of my life were lived military. So I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, and honestly. Yes, I did see patrols on the DMZ in Korea and things like that. I had to do stuff like that. But primarily, my duty was boxing. I was a boxer, and I went, I was like all Army champ and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? So I boxed in the Olympic trials. I got beat, but I did box, and I know some of those guys that were out there boxing, pro fighters that boxed at that time as well. So that was my experience in the military. My bad situations were bad, but boxing got me out of those.
Right. Now wait a minute. You're a woodwind player and you're boxing. I mean, you need like lips and teeth. What are you thinking?
I did. At that time, I wasn't playing saxophones. I was playing flute.
Okay.
And, but still, yeah, you're right. I did.
You need yes. Yeah. It never really occurred to you, if you take a shot, that might be the end of your.
Hey, the only thing that occurred to me was getting out of those crazy duties that they had. So, whatever.
I got it.
I was ready to take a blow, buddy.
Got it. Will, were you aware of Leslie's service when you wrote this?
He had told me much earlier, when we first met, that he had been in the military and he boxed. But I actually forgot about it until he read the script, and he's the one who came up with the Willie Pete.
Got it.
The nickname for white phosphorus, which I wasn't familiar with. So I owe him that little detail that really makes things work there.
Good.
He told me he had, expertise in it.
And I didn't box, but I watched boxing.
You look like you boxed a lot, really.
My hair knocked off.
Oh yeah, courtesy of my wife.
Hey, that, by the way,
great job. Great job. That's awesome.
That was awesome.
I'm just gonna read. I'm just gonna read a couple comments, and then we're gonna continue the conversation. So Kelly Koenig says, "Beautiful, graceful, kudos all around." Mitch Levine, bravo! Such a deeply emotional realization of this shattering subject. Kudos to actress, director, and playwright. Tom Alper, great chemistry. I love the performances. The writing and the direction was flawless. And Tom also asks 3 questions. Any challenges acting on Zoom? And then what year were you boxing? And Tom is a big boxing fan. And he also says, what weight class?
Oh, lightweight. And as far as challenges, yes. On Zoom, yes. And the year of me boxing was 77, 78, 79 out of Korea.
Oh, wow. Wow. Great.
I think the challenges are like internet, like making sure we didn't freeze.
Great. No technical problems.
No, that was awesome. I was like very happy about that. But I know we were talking about like it's different because you don't still have the in-person aspect where you can have the chemistry that
energy. It's just the energy that I miss.
Like I don't miss it. Like I still feel like I had it with you. So
I would be remiss if I didn't say that working with Barika and Les and Will and I have done a number of things together, and always you guys were such a joy. I mean,
thank you.
Accepting of whatever suggestions or thoughts I might have, working with each other, coming up with things that I could never think of, but it just was a real treat. And so thank you, Will. Thank you.
Thank you again. You might be interested to know I've written a new full-length play, for Leslie, again, he's the main character, a jazz musician who comes to prison.
Wow, Will, thanks, man.
And there's a wonderful part for Barika. And so I'll get it to them. Where we'll get it on, I'm not sure, but I always have Les in mind. He's one of my favorite actors, and his musical acumen is just remarkable, and it's a pleasure to work with. And again, I just love Barika's work, and I love her as a person, really.
All right, Tom Halper, you're on.
Oh, hey, how's it going? First of all, it was such a powerful piece. I mean, I was riveted to the screen. Like Gina said, for a second I started to walk away, and then all of a sudden there was just so much pain, especially in the daughter's voice. It drew me right back to her. And I love the choice of how Leslie started, because he was so, there was such anger in his voice when he first started, and then I could see where he had to go through. I mean, I just thought the piece was amazing, and the chemistry was terrific, and it looked like you guys were completely off book, to be honest. I mean, I felt like I was watching a live performance. It was incredible. So anyway, just amazing work, everyone.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Appreciate that.
Hey, did you ever fight Howard Davis? Do you remember him?
The name sounds familiar, and no, I don't think I did.
Because I think he was a lightweight around 76 around the Olympics. I think he ended up winning the Olympics. That was the whole Sugar Ray Leonard. Was that when you were trying for the Olympics in the 70s?
No. It was after Sugar Ray. It was after Sugar Ray. Yeah, I didn't start my boxing thing until like 77, 78.
Oh, okay.
But no, yeah, and Sugar Ray was well on the scene. But I went all the way to Olympic trials, and I got beat out like the first round by some cat named Santana or somebody that had been there like 4 times before. And it was my very first time being out there in Carson City, wherever it was, in Colorado somewhere, But hey, I lived the experience. You know what I'm saying?
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Mom, are you the brother of Steve Alper?
Yeah, you know my brother Steve? How do you know him?
That's funny.
Interesting. Okay.
The Smartphone Theater family. I love it.
I'm familiar with his work, but yeah, like your name is familiar, the last name. So I was like, is that?
Yeah, I'm Steve's older brother. My brother's a fantastic, terrific writer. And I've been lucky enough he's put me in a few of his projects. So
nice.
I will connect all of you guys. That's what this is.
Have you worked with Steve, or are you just a friend of his?
No, I've been, I was a stage manager for a play of his, so that's why I know him.
Fantastic.
Wow. Amazing. All
right, cool. Well, T, I have to jump ahead. We're gonna go. So thank you, Tom, as always.
Great work, guys.
Thank you, Tom.
Flawless, incredible writing, great direction. It was just, I would pay to see that.
Oh, best compliment ever.
Well, you got to find a place.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to bring one of our other playwrights into part of this conversation. So I'm going to bring in Joe Keys and Peter. You're logged in twice, so I'm not sure which one you are. So I'm going to guess here, and so let's give it a shot. So and basically what we're going to do is we're going to open this up a little bit, open the conversation up. So Joe and Peter. There we've got Joe Keys, playwright. Everybody meet Joe Keys.
It's not Joe Keys.
Hello, Joe.
What the? Is this Hollywood Squares?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Peter, I'm not sure which one. Let me try this one here. And basically, so outside of their cast, Will, Stu, Joe, and in a second, there we go.
Hey, there we go.
Peter,
hey guys, everybody. Well done,
this is
everybody.
great.
Thank you.
Hi.
So, it's been, this is a year. So it's been a year of smartphone theater, but it's also been a year of, hey, we're not supposed to go outside and talk to anybody and breathe on anybody. And I really want to open up the conversation on creativity and what you guys have been doing to stay creative, how smartphone theater is sort of factored into your life. Because honestly, if it's not for everybody here on screen, we got nothing. Smartphone theater is absolutely nothing. So I want to just open up, each week we're going to open up the conversation to more and more people that have actually made this possible. So Peter, Joe, and everybody else, my question is, let's talk about this last year of creativity, lack of creativity, and then just sort of redefining yourselves in order to find the creativity, to exercise that muscle.
Let me just say, I miss seeing Will and Stu and all you guys at the Actors Studio. It's nice to see you. And I really enjoyed this play. Really great acting, the Barika and Leslie. I really enjoyed your work. And I wanted like more. When it ended, I was like, I wanted to go farther with these characters because I just felt engaged. So that's nice. And so Will, I mean, you're the guy that writes a play every week, it seems like. I don't know how he does it, but so I've always enjoyed working with you and seeing you, and Stu, but seeing your work, and I enjoyed this piece a lot. And of course,
I miss seeing you a lot, really.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get that back together again, and we'll be at the Actors Studio if theater hasn't vanished completely.
Yeah. Hey, it's been around for what, a couple of 1,000 years.
Back.
Yeah,
ain't going nowhere.
We'll come back.
Some of us think we were there at the start.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm grateful to kind of just to throw my little 2 cents in here and then get the heck out. But to Todd for putting us together, because this has been my sole theatrical experience for the past year. I mean, if it wasn't for Smartphone Theater, I'd be a lot more depressed because it was a purpose and a reason to write and to get my stuff up here, and working with Peter Flood here and with Todd and with some really wonderful actors. It's just it supplied hope where there wasn't a whole lot of hope given what we're all going through. So I'm very grateful to Todd for Smartphone Theater and for my collaborators.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure.
Tell you that guy's a genius, man.
What's that?
I tell you that guy's a genius.
No, I'll tell you, I'm going to let Peter take over, but I'll tell you one of the benefits for me is that, and very, very much, even though I'm producing all of these, I'm a fly on the wall. So very rarely do the directors get to watch other directors work. So I've learned so much from everybody else merely by just listening and watching. The process is like, I have my process, but everybody else has their own. And It's really been fascinating. It's really been such a, I get a masterclass actually every time a show goes up. So which is really great. And working with playwrights also, I mean, it's been great. And then, Peter is this master of breaking down a script. So, working with Peter has been just invaluable. It's been fantastic. Gina Acosta, you pressed the button. So Peter, it's all yours.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Todd. I want to just say one thing about this last year. I'd have to say, generally speaking, probably one of the most creative periods, not just for me, but also my wife, Claire, who's an actress and a coach and a writer too, and watching Joe, working with Joe and other writers that I see and have worked with in this period, because the distractions are diminished by conditionality, by circumstance in a certain way, and it seems to me that it's really it's been a blessing in some ways. As I experience. And the great thing about Smartphone Theater is that at the studio in the play development unit, it's a working process. So the play is always under development. We just read it, we give notes, it's always on the focus of the play. Smartphone Theater asks that play and the direction and the acting to go a little further. It has a presentational value. The audience comes on, and it elevates the effort that goes into the result. That, to me, especially coming out of the studio, which is really process-centered, that what Todd has offered is just fantastic. And I'm hoping that even when we get back in the room and so forth, and not just hoping, but working with Todd together and studio leadership in general, that we Smartphone Theater offers two big advantages. One, the camera itself. The camera as a whole changes the game. And secondly, it offers the opportunity for the work to go beyond a working session, to go one step further from a working session. We touched on this when the studio produced 2 seasons at new work, short pieces at Greenway Court. Greenway Court was the producing entity, but it was all work out of the playwright and playwright and the director's unit in 2015, 2016. And that was a great experience with Bruce Goldsmith, and I were basically involved in organizationally, and it really delivered a lot of what Smartphone Theater under Todd's leadership, his creativity, and extraordinary level of support that Todd puts into it each week. Speaking now as a director, I'm curious whether I could possibly work again on Smart as a director without Todd. I drag Todd into everything I do.
Love it.
And we have, Joe and I have put up his current play under development, Home Fires. Home Fires 1, Home Fires 2, Home Fires 3 is going up in April. Home Fires 4 will follow, and eventually maybe there will be a complete play there. And it's a fantastic adventure, Todd. And I'm my hat's off to you, man.
Oh, thanks.
You've really you have a lot of skill sets, production, direction. And just your engagement with us individually as creative artists. I'll shut up after this. I mean, we are who we are. We're also, I think, at this point in life, what we do. There's an identity. There's a part of us that is what we do. It grows over a period of life. The more we do it, the more we actually become it. So when that is taken away, the opportunity to do what you do, whether it's to act or to direct or to write and to put all that together, it's grief. There's a level of grief that sets in, and you have been the solution for that, Todd. And I really appreciate really appreciate Smartphone Theater and everything that's gone into making it work.
Thank you, Peter.
Can I say something to you, Todd? Like I
sure.
This process, but I've told all of my actor friends about this because I'm serious, because outside of creating your own thing, like there are people that are like hardcore theater people, and I'm a hardcore theater person. I love theater. And so I felt like I got a new life when I got the opportunity to do this, because I crave that connection that you have when you get to do live theater, like in front of an audience, and that interaction and that engagement that you have with another actor. And so for me, and this is the first time I've had the opportunity to do that, like it was amazing. And I feel like, oh my God, I'm acting again. Like, outside of just like commercials and other like television, this to me, like I love theater, and it was really special to be a part of it. And so thank you for that. Like it means a lot to people that love theater.
That thrills me. Thank you. And don't go far, because now we have your email and your phone number. It's so true. Gina, you're here for a reason. Oh, yes, you are.
Well, I totally want to say what Peter said, as far as there is a grief that sets in when we aren't doing what we do. And I have to say, as a playwright, as a writer, I am so done with hearing that Shakespeare wrote King Lear during the plague. I love that play got written. I love that it's there, but holy cow, that's a pressure that suddenly it's like, yeah, but I'm still in my bed at 2 p.m. and I don't want to get out or do anything because I don't know what's in store as a writer. But what Peter said is we are what we do. And so to be part of this has been such an amazing honor, such an amazing thing. And Leslie, I just want to say to you that I'm the girl that's going to contact you with Deploy the Arts.
Okay,
So,
great.
Oh yeah, so yeah, we'll make that connection.
All
But,
right. Good.
But to have this campfire, this watering hole to come to, where you feel relevant and you feel like you still have a heartbeat, is it's great. So thank you all for tonight, and Will, thank you so much for showing up with this beautiful play tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Gina. Peter, I have to tell you, your timing is amazing, because I sort of had my crisis this morning where I was going, what am I doing? my life is so busy, and I'm going, what am I doing? What is going on? So yes.
Hey, let me just say, I'm sure that's what Michelangelo. If you read a biography, and I really recommend to everybody to read the biography of artists. I don't care whether they paint or a musician or in the theater or whatever, but it's deeply informative about the life we live. And I'm sure that Michelangelo, lying on his back at the top of the Sistine Chapel, thought the same thing, Todd.
Wow. Good company.
In the sixth year of his painting, that
right,
ceiling.
on the back.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with Peter and with Gina and Joe and all of these guys on what you're saying about the importance of being able to stay active and doing the things that we've loved and for many of us spent a lifetime doing. But there was another advantage to smartphone theater, and that's the opportunity of not to lose contact with people that you really like and share with. And we look forward to meetings, and everybody would have a chance to talk, and then afterwards standing around outside in the parking lot, and you feel you're with friends. And it would be so easy, given what we've all been going through, to climb into a hole and put the dirt over yourself and say, well, as soon as this is over, I'm going to resume. But here's an opportunity that we have, and not only to continue to practice our art and to learn from the work that we see the other directors, as I as a director do, and the writers and the actors and Todd. It's just been an amazing experience. But being able to see you guys, who I have become a part of my life, that's something that is very, very important too, I think.
Sure. Thank you, sir. I mean, literally, so 1 year ago when all this happened, it was, I was seeing you guys once, if not twice a week. So when everything shut down, it was, oh my God. And I came up with this idea and called Gina. Gina, I have this idea. What do you have? Do you have a play? And that was pretty much it. That was because
How did you come up with the idea? I mean, did you know about film, or did your expertise come after that? I mean,
no, it was a learning curve. It was interesting because in building the little nonfiction piece that we did in the beginning on Gene and GB, Mr. Butler is actually on, so he's going to chime in 1 second. But I was looking at our growth, so I went to an early play that we did with Jennifer LaSalette and Cindy Dolans and who else? I'm totally blanking on everything. But I was looking at those pieces, and just from a structural perspective, we had stage directions. We were reading stage directions, and the camera was going to the person who was reading stage directions. And it was also all done in singles. It was all done in speaker mode. So there's been a huge growth in our platform. And really, I mean, what happened was this happened, and I went, literally, wait a minute, we have the PD unit, we have the directors unit, we have everybody. What we need something. That's really what it was. It was just that decision that quickly.
Can I just say, in the future, I mean, when the room opens up to whatever extent, when we start re-engaging in person with each other creatively, actually, it opens an opportunity for smartphone theater to continue with actors in the same frame. I know the beauty of Home Fires, working on Home Fires, is that Lily Knight, who's gifted actors, Lily Knight and Steve Hoffendahl, they're partners. So they live in the same frame. They live in the same house. They're in the same frame. As a director, and I think with Joe as a playwright, not only because of their talent, but that just really opens up the developmental possibilities,
Right.
of the work itself. So I think that, when it's safer, that'll be an interesting step, I think, for smartphone theater, Todd,
Sure.
as far as advancing it as its own medium, its own platform. Look at the world that we're in right now, just in the entertainment industry in particular, how platforms have fractured. It's
Right.
no longer theatrical distribution. It's no longer opening wide in 3,000 plus theaters across the country, and all the expense that goes into prints and advertising and everything. It is a changed industry,
Yep.
and it's not gonna
Not gonna go back.
Yeah.
Nope.
Right.
Not at all. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Eugene Butler.
Hey. I don't know, I don't know where my video is, but I'm my handicap is anything to do with computers. So
We can hear you just fine.
Yeah. Well, I agree with everybody. I think it's cool what everybody's saying. There's no theatrical releases this year, but yet, they're having the Oscars, which is always kind of weird to me. I mean, what were there 3 movies out this year? But it's but it's their big fundraiser, I guess. And I got to tell you, the smartphone. Todd and I have been working with each other for a long time as a director, writer, and the smartphone thing. To see it grow like it has, and see Todd put all this work in, I think is amazing. The virus, to be honest with you, hasn't changed what I do. Because, my habit is still the same habit. I get up at a certain time in the morning, I write for a certain amount of time, 7 days a week, and then I go play music. So it really hasn't, the biggest problem is I haven't been able to interact live. And this is the longest I've gone without being on the stage, in front of a camera, behind a camera, directing something. This is the longest since I was 15 years old. And however, and I told Todd this, I actually got work out of the smartphone theater. There was a composer and a lyric back east, a lyric writer, and he's quite well known back there and stuff. But they saw a piece that I had done with Robert Hayes and Michael Kavanagh. Called Holy Water, and they contacted me, and now I'm writing a book for a musical with them. And we're doing it via Zoom, so it was pretty interesting to you never know when. You always got to be at your best, man, because you never know when somebody is going to be in that audience, even if it's 2 people. It might be somebody. So it was great, and thank you for that, Todd.
Yeah, GB, it's been such a pleasure. And did you see the opening piece?
No, I couldn't get on until just.
I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to send it. You open tonight with a short documentary.
Oh, I did.
Yes, you did.
Without my guitar.
Without your guitar. Yes, that is so true. But you will be back. You will be back. All right. Well, that said, I think we're unless anybody has anything else to add. Can I
say something?
Sure.
This is Claire.
Oh, yeah, look,
I just wanted to thank you, Will, and thank all the actors and Stu. It was a great job, and ditto everything everyone has said about Todd. And Todd, I just wanted to say how amazing it is that you are able to use both the right side of your brain and the left side of your brain. It's sorely lacking a lot of times in the theater community. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Claire. This is not the Todd hour, but I so appreciate it. So thank you. It's
It is Todd.
It's always the Todd hour. Always the Todd.
No. I mean, honestly, one is I get so much enjoyment. So every week I get so much enjoyment of just being an audience member. It's really great.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Who's Todd?
There you go. Yeah, but
that
secondly,
genius guy I've been talking about all night, man. That genius guy.
Yeah, no, it is so funny because just this morning I was having this conversation where my head felt like it was inside out. I'm going, what is going on? I've got, I'm pressing so many buttons and so many things are happening, but who am I? What am I doing? So, wow. Thank you guys for answering that question.
It's a great question.
How much of an impact you're having within this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
You two actors who just talked, I actually don't know you, but I like to. So what are your names?
I'm Barika Phillips Bell.
And I am Leslie A. Jones.
Well, I will be writing for you.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
We just keep on expanding the family. So yeah. So I will share your emails if that's all right with you guys.
It's fine.
All right.
Great.
All right. We're going to wrap up unless anybody has anything else to add. We're going to wrap up to our cast and playwright and director. I'm going to send you our little an email with a link just so we have our little our wrap up. Quick wrap up, and to everybody else who joined us, Joe and Peter and Gina, thank you guys, and really know that it's such a joy. Honestly, it is such a joy.
Great job all around, everybody.
All right.
I want to thank all you guys, man. Thank you, Todd, Will, Stu. It's the first time me working with you, man, but I really appreciate. I love the way you work. We can do it again anytime.
Thank you.
Barika.
The feeling is mutual.
Love you.
I think because I was directed by what's his name? Will the first director. I was there for something you directed at the Actor Studio.
Dan Keogh.
Dan Keogh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm familiar with Stu, but I am excited.
It's the first time I've worked with Stu too. But yeah.
Familiar with me and still talking to me.
Hey, we'll do it again, buddy.
Fantastic. All right, everybody. Have a great night, a wonderful weekend. Thank you again, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
Todd, we leave the meeting and wait for a new.
Yes, you're going to get another link in 2 minutes. Okay.